Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Matt, and it is Bloodthirsty Thursday. Boy, this week is just flying by. Hopefully, it's going great for all you guys. And as always, I hope you're having a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that jazz. Because that's what's most important in life. Hopefully, you're watching some awesome movies, or maybe you've run into a couple of stinkers along the way. I'm trying to think if I've ran into anything really bad in the last week. Nothing that I can really think of, but I will have a bad one next Tuesday for Terrible Tuesday. I will guarantee you that because I've already got next week lined up. And next week is going to be a special week. It's going to be devoted to my good friend Kyle, and he really is a huge zombie guy. He loves his zombies. So next week I'm going to do nothing but zombie films. Granted, most of them will be stuff that all of you have heard of, just because underground zombie films are a dime a dozen. Finding good ones is very hard. I wish I had a copy of Necrophiles. I would do that, but unfortunately, I do not have a copy of that one. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that. Do you guys consider Night of the Creeps a zombie movie? Because it does bring the dead back to life. It is kind of a zombie-ish thing. I'm on the fence if I count it or not. If not, I won't do it next week. No, I don't know what I'm doing for that one. For the most part, I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday selected. Thursday is my day that I'm like, what can I squeeze in there that would be perfect for a Bloodthirsty Thursday? Today's Bloodthirsty gem is so good. It's from the year I was born, 1980. Yes, folks, that is 40 years ago. It makes me feel really old saying that out loud. Yes, I am an older gentleman. Anyways, there's my saying. This one's starring Joe Spinell, who's always awesome. The first role I ever remember seeing him in when I was a kid was probably Rocky, because he had a small part in, I think, all the first three or four. I think the first three. I could be very, very wrong. I know for sure he's in the first one, and of course I know him for The Fanatic, which is kind of a fun little rip off of today's film. And then there's also, he did The Undertaker, which I have a soft spot for. It's a terrible, terrible movie. It'll eventually be one that I review down the line. I'll just let you know that my review of it will be very lopsided. On the entertainment side, it's going to not look so, on the entertainment side, it's going to be really high, but on that technical side, it's going to be pretty darn low because it is a technical nightmare. And this one is directed by Bill Lustig, William Lustig himself, the guy that runs, or at least I know he used to run, Blue Underground. Yes, 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 great stuff. This is the 30th anniversary edition, so this is a 10-year-old copy. This is the 2-disc edition, and then inside, here we go. Inside, you got a nice little bloody scalped gal and an index chapter selection. And then let me just throw this back in here real quick and smoothly, guys. And I'll flip that over, and I'll show you guys the special features. There you go. There's some decent stuff on there. This is one that you could really delve in and have a good time because the special features are just top notch. I can't say enough good about this one. You can tell that William Lustig had a lot of love for this film, and it is, in my opinion, his best film. It's what I feel like made his career. Very very cool. I warned you not to go out tonight. All right. So, Joe Spinell plays Frank. Frank Zito is this dude that he's really messed up in the head. He plays a maniac. Um, not to sound stupid, but he plays the maniac himself, and it's nothing that's hidden from you. You know right away. It's not obscured. You know exactly who the killer is, and you get his MO right away as well. At least through the first two victims, you can definitely get his MO. It's like, okay, he's one of these types of guys. He has a fondness for women's hair. Um, Hair and scalp all and all. Yeah, he does some interesting things. He scalps his victims, which is pretty gnarly. I'm not gonna lie. He breaks out an old box cutter and just off off with its scalp off with his head. Anyways, but see, he's got a nice decapitated head there next to his his boner, which is obvious. It's like, oh my god, that guy's got a boner on the cover here. I'm kidding with you. It does look like it though. So Frank has a knack for killing gals. Trying to really, his mother was a very bad lady. She treated him horribly, beat him, called him horrible names, did some really like dastardly things to this poor kid. And it's definitely that whole nature versus nurture thing. Is it created by on, or is it something you're born with, or is it something that you learned along the way? Which sometimes, yeah, which most of the time, yeah, I agree with that. There are some people I feel that are just born to be bad. That's just, it's something in their genetic code. I don't know. I don't know that stuff, but I do believe that that has something to do with it in some way, shape, or form with certain killers, because they say all serial killers have that what do they call it? The XYY chromosome, I believe, is what they call it. So they got that extra chromosome in there that is kind of offsetting and jumbling things up. You know, one of those kind of weird ordeals. Only reason I kind of know this stuff is I'm a weirdo, and and I used to read a lot of books on serial killers and stuff, and there's some really interesting books out there. One of my favorites is the A to Z Encyclopedia of Serial Killers. It is an older book now, so it is out of date, and there are a lot of serial killers that we know of now that we didn't know of at the time. So it is still a very, very good read. I don't know if there's a revised edition where it's been updated and anything like that. If there is, or if there isn't, that would be a great one to do, because it's really, really, really informational. Good stuff. And I believe that, was it Richard Kepler or whatever his name is. He did something. The guy who coined the term serial killer. I want to say he had something to do with the writing, how it's. He wrote part of it. One of those kind of ordeals. Okay. So, you do get a magical scene with Tom Savini, I'm not gonna lie. He, is playing a kind of a skeezy dude that, is like, he brought this girl that has a boyfriend already. She's a bad person too for doing it. They're like necking in the back seat. She catches Spinell eyeing her. Old Frank Zito is just peeping in on her through the windows. It freaks her out, blah, blah, blah. Which, yeah, it would creep me the hell out, too. You got some weird, pock-faced freak, or just anybody. They would just like, you freak, you weirdo, why are you watching me? One of those ordeals, like, trust me, there's nothing that you're gonna enjoy if you watch me having, sexual relations. I'm not that attractive of a man, and I'm kind of out of shape. I am out of shape. There is no kind of about it. I am. So, you know, anybody that would want to watch that, it makes me kind of crack up a little bit, but we all have our kicks. Anyways. So you got that magical scene with Tom Savini. He eventually gets this relationship with Caroline Munro, who plays this photographer. Um, Her character is very, I would say, basic in my opinion. There's no real story arc that. Sorry, Caroline Munro, you're lovely to look at, but you're no actress. That's what I have. That's what I will say. Um, the fanatic, the fan, whatever you want to call that one, because I think it runs by like 3 or 4 different names, like Last Horror Show, or Last Picture Show, or some, not Last Picture Show. That's the Oscar winner movie, but Last Horror Show or something like that. Which no, that's House 3. Pooh, it's skipping my brain right now. It's something along those lines. Very, very bizarre movie where they go to Cannes Film Festival, and it kind of like is very similar to this one in that way. Okay, kiddies, that's all I really want to say about the movie itself, as far as giving away anything. I don't want to. I don't want to give away the Savini scene any further. That scene is amazing. Caroline Munro. There's this funny scene where it's when they both meet in this. It's like a photo shoot that she's doing, and there's this terrible cornball song that's. Do, 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 do. We're going to the showdown. You know, I'm no singer, so so I don't. I know I'm not. But anyways, that's this weird song that scene just always stuck out in my head, like weird. You know, it's random. I understand she's there. She's photographing three women, so you know. I mean, you gotta, I guess, have some music playing in the background to kind of keep a little mood or a little tempo to things, you know. Um, let's get on to my ratings for the technical side of things. This thing it's pretty well put together. It's crispy crisp. I do laugh that this copy here, it brags that it's in the 2K remastered edition, which now we're going to get a 4K remastered edition, or we already did, or something like that. I forget some of them sometimes, guys. Blue Underground, they have a really bad problem with re-releasing the same titles over and over and over again when they have a very good, extensive catalog. I would like to see a cleaned up version of Fight for Your Life. That would be an amazing one that deserves some love. That video nasty is rough, man. Like, it's not gory or brutal in that sense. It's really messed up in the things that are being said, especially for nowadays time. It just would not fly. You know, it's like Desperate Hours remake, a very vulgar, like Desperate Hours, which is an old Humphrey Bogart film from, I believe, the 40s, 50s. I can't remember exactly. I could be very, very wrong on that, but it does star Bogey. I do know that. All right, so I'm going to give this thing a 4 on the technical side. It is, like I said, it's crisp. It does a very good job. So let's rock on it to the entertainment side. This thing is so good, such an entertaining, classic masterpiece of a film that everybody should see. Not everybody, I take that back. Every horror fan should see this. I say, if you're a real horror fan, you will watch this one. This is one that everybody needs to have in their collection, much like stuff like Pieces or Torso is a great one. Alligator, I love Alligator with Robert Forster, or another one, Shockwaves. I'm going to be reviewing Shockwaves next week. Love that movie. Anyways, so this thing's gonna get a 4 on the entertainment side. So this is an 8 out of 10. It's a solid freaking film. I think it's hilarious that Siskel and Ebert, or whatever their names were, those two twerps, they who ruined a lot of careers, in my opinion. But I'm not going to get into the discussion of how I feel about them. Sorry, guy. Anyways, so 8 out of 10. I'm going to get out of here. 15 minutes. Holy shit. I am rolling late, folks. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Love your faces as always. And peace. Having trouble finding the button to turn it off.